Yo, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Rakakodash. Double honors to my apostles, elders, and great millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, men, women, and children, to the speckled bird also. I'd like to say Shalom to you. And I just got a quick analysis, if you will. We got all types of prophecies going down, man. All types of, the scriptures tell you in the Luke 21, there should be signs in the sun and the moon, and the stars, and upon earth great distress of nations. Roughly paraphrasing, the sea and the waves roaring with perplexity. We got all these prophecies. We got so much going on, but brothers or having an evil eye towards their brother during this time of testing. It's also a time, like the Lord said, I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees. It's a time of testing. It's a time of all these things. And brothers, we going against guys who have this different doctrine. And then you got guys that have the same doctrine that going against each other because they have an evil eye towards their brother, or their brother might be going off, and they need to correct those things, all for the sake of the sheep. The Lord said, "Feed my sheep." So you got all types of things going on. The Lord said in Matthew chapter 10. In 34 or something, he said, think not that I come to send peace on the earth. I come not to send peace but a sword. There should be variance against one another. So the Lord is causing that even amongst the circumcision, even amongst the body, the Lord is causing that the division. Pretty much guys that are the house of Saul, they think that they're the house of David, going against the house of David. And the scriptures talk about how good is set against evil, and that's just how it is. It's just good is set against. That's just how it is. Like, you can't get out of it. The Lord is in the midst. The Lord is working. And what during all that hatred towards one another, because it's a part of the curses, during all that you have spiritual things happening. You have chances that we have as individuals to have mercy, to have compassion upon another brother. And like the scriptures tell you in the book of Ecclesiastes, tells you that everything is like the timing is different. To every time pretty much time it changes. So there's a time to embrace, a time to reform from embrace, and a time to do all the so in between the house of David and the house of Saul going against each other, right? We got to think about how King David moved. Like, to other people during that time, it was a time to have wrath, but King David, he always went to the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and he always asked the Lord first before he did things. Okay, and he and that's the kind of spirit that we got to be in. See, there's a lot of going on where you can easily fall. You can easily be a victim of certain situations, man. And all it takes is you to say the wrong thing, or because guys, they're really puffed up with pride these days, and we got to think about the scriptures. What the scriptures say: judge a man not by his appearance, but the Lord judgeth not by appearance, but judgeth on the heart, man. Okay, guys, judging guys by their appearance, by certain situations, their financial situations. Like I've been having situations, just like every other brother, and we got to fight through these things. And there's certain guys that they don't like the mercy aspect. They don't have that compassion towards their brethren, because they've always had an evil eye towards their brethren. And you know what the scriptures speak about, an evil eye towards your brethren, man. Okay, because a guy can have the same doctrine, ain't going off in nothing. He might not have the same spirit. See, the scriptures speak about, to every man is given a certain measure of faith. Now that's so real, man, because a brother might not be on as fire on fire as you, or a brother might not be, as grown in the faith as you. Brother might not have your kind of faith. He might not have went through the same things you went through, man. But when we judging out here, we got to judge righteous judgment. See, when we judge in situations, okay, we got to think about ourselves. Consider yourselves when you're in judgment. You always got to consider yourself. What if I was in this situation? Like, could I honestly say that I could survive that situation? Can I honestly say that I can judge this righteously? Well, I can look at the scriptures and judge it. But are you really looking at are you paying attention to yourself? What about you? Can you really do this? Could you had that same compassion on an individual? Or could you had that same energy, that same mercy, that same could you have done that? Or could you have went through that situation that this brother got through? See, we can say it. We can say that we could have went through it, but are you serious? Are you being honest with yourself? So how are you judging it? So we're judging it by the scriptures, obviously. But sometimes in our judgments, I'll say that, maybe we're moving through the lust of the flesh, because, like, in the back of your mind, you really want to gnash on brothers with your teeth. You really want to get on them and yell at them about certain situations that you feel in your heart, that you've accumulated in your mind. Like the scriptures say, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh, man. And guess what? That's the lust of your flesh. So when a brother's having financial situations, and another brother has mercy through the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai on that brother, okay, and then you got guys don't like that. They don't want another brother to show mercy on that brother for having financial problems, for not being able to do such and such. They don't want that brother to feel any compassion toward the other brother that were having said problems. Now, in that day, whenever the what does it say, the keepers of the grinding is low and this, that, and the other, when wit is hiding itself, whenever Jacob's trouble is coming around, and you moving from house to house, like the book of Amos tells us, man shall lay his hand on the wall, and the serpent bit him. In those days, you're gonna be wanting to have mercy, man. And you went all year able to have some kind of mercy for somebody, but you didn't have no mercy. You went all year after year, and you forgot that the Lord had mercy on you. You forget that the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai had mercy on you. You forgot about that. You forgot all about that. That's all out the window because you got such and such amount of followers, and everybody's bigging you up, and you're very popular, and you're not worried about any of that because you're just trying to feed the sheep, feed your fans, feed your fan base. And you're not worried about somebody having financial issues because, hey, you got it, man. You could do it, right? You've made all the sacrifices and you've done everything in your power from the Lord, okay? And the Lord endowed you with that, but then you forget that the Lord did that for you, man. You forget about that maybe you were in a bad situation once, or twice, or 3 times, or 100 times, or however many times. You may have been in a bad situation, but the Lord helped you out. And you needed mercy, and you cried out to the Lord. You probably literally cried to the Lord, praying hard, real hard, man. But then, the Lord forgave you about those things, and you repented. But you can't have that same mercy upon your fellow brethren. Okay? You don't have that same mercy upon your fellow brethren, man. That's in this truth, man. Anyway, with that, shalom.